I am real good. I'm real good at proving stuff. That's what I'm gonna get Pete to do me a soundtrack. It's gonna sound good. I'm not gonna give you all my secrets because that's just me because I've had to earn it. But I'm gonna teach some green beans something if they don't know this. Shit, probably professionals don't know this. I laugh at my damn self because it is funny. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna show you. Okay, if you take a radio, if you're gonna do a house system or even in your car, and you use this radio as you're using your high level here, just coming straight off the radio, right? This is gonna be your output to your crossovers. I'm not going to use any internal crossovers on this radio. I'm not going to use any bass boost. I'm not going to use any loudness. I'm not going to use any treble, any bass. I'm not going to touch that shit. Leave it flat, zero, okay? I'm sure everybody's heard this already, but they probably ain't heard this part. Especially if you're a green bean or you're using your head unit to power your component set. Okay, that's what I'm trying to tell you. If you use the radio to control your component set, you need to check the high level with an O-scope. And I'm going to prove something to you like I'm good at proving stuff. Well, you're going to see why I'm good at proving stuff. All right, I might have to set the phone down because I don't have nobody here to help me. Miller's with his mom for Mother's Day. So, we're going to use a test tone from my favorite people. Y'all want to use that SMD? That's what we're going to use. We're going to do it, but I'm going to show you that don't help you unless you know what the hell you're doing. So, here we go. I've got the speaker wires unhooked to the speakers so they're not getting a 40 hertz test tone. That's what I'm trying to stop here. I just want to get it a flat signal to the crossover. All right, so we're going to hit the old. This is off the phone, and I'm going to tell you another thing. If you have more than one phone, you need to check which phone you're going to use with your radio if you got a big system and use that same damn phone. They do change, the level does change from phone to phone. Excuse me. Eat some pizza. But it does change from phone to phone. You've got to trust me. I've been down this road 100 times. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to turn this up. We're going to watch the O-scope. I'm up to 28, 30, 31. I can change the range of this to make it whatever. But right at 32, you see it starting to get a little square at the bottom, a little square wave on this sine wave at the bottom. Now, if you go up one more notch, 33, check that shit out. Oh, shit, never mind. Hang on. I need to back my stuff up. It tried to change my... There we go. Now we're back on the test tone. All right, so I want you to look at this. This is directly off the high level. So that's at 32. It's got a little bit of squaring starting on your O-scope there. Now we're back at the 31. I'm going to show you. I'm going to go to 31. I see that's clean. All right, now watch the difference between 32 and 33. So 32 is right there. Let's go to 33. Look at that shit. You gonna fuck your shit up right here. Yeah, I say bad words because I have to get people's attention that I do know what the fuck I'm talking about. And most people don't. So, now you're gonna say, well, what about my amp, man? Because I can read your mind. I done been through this a million times. I don't do car stereo forums. I never did. When we did this shit back in the day, when the shit talking started, all I ever hear now is there's no drama in audio. And I'm like, bullshit, man. It's all the time. That's why I don't give a damn. I'll say whatever because there's more drama in car audio than there is in fucking cars. Car shit, like going fast. I was in the diesel pulling shit and all that back in the day. Man, fucking one of the top people in the country. And I just got so tired of whooping people's ass on the track from, not beating them up physically. I'm talking about I take my truck down there and beat the shit out of them on the drag strip and the fucking pulling a track. And drive it to go eat pizza and go on a damn date. And when I was married, had my kid in the fucking truck. I mean, shit, we did it all, man. Pulled shit with it, worked it, all kinds of stuff. Won car shows. So when it's coming to car when that kind of thing I was doing, people would start going, let's change the rules to fit everybody else. Hey man, he's got one more turbo than I got. Well, go buy you one. You always have to cater to somebody. So that's why I stopped doing car stereo and trying to help my son do it and get him a car. And if I get pissed off enough, I'm going to do me one, and nobody's ever going to want to go do car stereos again. Because that's what happened when I did truck pulling. I did truck pulling to the point where people was like, man, I ain't going to pull no more if he comes down here. I mean, I heard it all the time. And so I'm trying to stay out of it. I want my son to have something good and try to teach people along the way. But if I get involved heavily, which I don't want to get, just leave things alone. You know what I mean? Like, you just go and do your thing and have a good time. But you're going to try to piss me off, I'm going to come out there and literally make everybody not want to do car stereos again. I've been down this road, but here we go. This is the tone, test tone. Let me get back to where we need to be. Stupid meter does all kinds of crazy mess. Let me go slick. There we go. But you see here, see how squared off it is? That's at volume 34. Look how bad it looks. There's 35. That's max volume on this radio, 35. That's horrible. I'm going to cut it back to 31. That's clean. That's 31. That means our high end's going to be clean. Now, I'm going to show you what it looks like off the low level. This is straight off the radio, and I'm going to show you why people's fucking up. Here we go, because this is the way to do it all the time. Let me grab these wires right quick, okay? Just be patient with me. I'm having to do this one-handed. All right. Okay, this is off the low level right there. That's touching the low level. It's not going to shock you because that's a low level. All right. Now let me get it where it'll read on the meter. I'm going to have to hit range times 10. Let me back this tone up. I'm doing some goofy mess. I'll show you as soon as it comes on. All right, I'm going to turn the volume up to 35 on the radio. There's the volume at 35 on the radio with that tone going through it, right? You see it counting up. Now I'm going to get this meter to where it'll read the sine wave because it's going to be a lot lower. Now look at this right here. That is at volume 35. Hang on, I'm going to show you. I'm still hooked up here. I'm hooked up. There's my sine wave. See how clean it is? But you see how high it went up? And I'm going to show you here in a minute. So there's 35. There's that sine wave. There's my hand. It's all together. See how clean it is? The problem is when you're at 35 here, you saw that distortion. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to set that down a minute. Nothing's there now. My hands are off. I feel like I have to prove everything. I'm good at proving stuff. So we know we got to be at 31 to make these clean. So if you go up to 35, like I just did off this low level here, you are going to blow these things up in 3 seconds. If they're half decent, they might last a minute or two. They're going to stink like hell. And I don't know if people think that stinking's good, like that's some kind of good thing. Like they go, man, it's starting to stink. Yeah. If you put enough power to it, you're going to. But if you got a little puny ass amp that's making it stink, you got something wrong. So here's what we're going to do. I know I'm at 35. You see that? We're still on that test tone. We're going to back that tone up again so I'll make sure it's good. All right. Let me go back to which one I was on then. I want to use the same one every time. So here we are. All right, so you can see it's playing. You remember 35 was clean right here, right? But 31 was the cleanest we could get here on the high level. All right, give me 1 second. Let me hook these wires up, and I'm going to show you what it does. I'm going to show you what it does when you don't do it right. I'm not going to show you how to do anything else on this amp. You're going to have to figure that out. I'm not teaching anybody that because I'm going to be the best at what I do, and ain't nobody going to know how I do it. I'm not teaching people all my secrets. I just ain't going to do it. You're going to have to figure that out on your own. Nobody taught me. All right. So I just plugged the RCAs up. I'm plugging the voltmeter up to the speaker outputs on the amp. I've already set this amp up, so I'm gonna show you what it does when we go back to that volume level. All right, so let me play it. Right now it's stopped, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and hit the play button. It's playing. It's at 40 hertz tone, you see that? So we're at 35, right? So let me back this meter down where I can see that wave. Look how squared off that bitch is. Running through that amp, remember? Okay, I told you at 35, here, it was dirty, but it was at 35 off your low level, which is what's going to the amp right now. Look at that, okay? Now what I told you, I'm gonna back this sine wave up again. There's the sine wave. We're still at 35, okay? You see how bad it looks? That's running through the amp off that low level that was clean at 35. You saw that. Now, I'm going to back this down to 31. Look how clean it is. That's through the amp. That amp is already set. I've already set the gains and shit. I know how to do this stuff. But here's what's going to happen if you go. So that's 32. See there? I told you it was dirty off the high end, right? So if we back it down to 31, which is what I said you could play your music at, realistically, because there's a lot of realisticallys here. But this is the proper way to set an amp up. I don't care what them other goons is talking about. Because they do not know what they're talking about in any way, shape, or form. So you see that right there, how clean it is? That's at 31. There's 32. I told you it was going to square off. I'm not running off of this. All right, there's back to 31. That's clean. So that means our high end is going to be clean. I'm calling this the high end. The high level is going to be clean at 31. The amp's going to be clean at 31. And guess what, y'all? All that shit about bass boost causes this and that. The boost juice on this son of a bitch is halfway. I'm not going to tell you how to do this. Do you think people put that on the amp? What do you think they put it on there? So can somebody answer that for me? If you got bass boost and you don't want to use it, then what the fuck's it there for? To make your speaker blow up? Guys, it's clean. I've got it turned up. Not all the way, but it's about halfway up. I'm not going to tell you how to do it. You're going to have to get you a little $56 O-scope. Do you some work, some testing. I'm setting this test tone back up. There it is. It's playing. 33, look. 32. Look at there, 31. You see that shit? Perfect. Now, I'm going to play this thing so you can hear it. Give me just a second. Okay, I'm going to stop this right here. I'm turning. Well, I'm going to show you one more thing right quick. Voltage. And this is why you want to set it with an O-scope. Don't do this clickety-clack forward down and guessing. Don't do that, man. Do it the right way, guys. You got to do this the right way. There's my sine wave. This is at 31. You see when I go to 32? Look. Okay, let's go to 35. Look, it's like shit. You cannot play that squared off wave right there. Go back to 31. It's clean. Now, when I said check the AC voltage, do that. Do it right now. So we want to change that to AC voltage. This amp puts out 30 volts clean. Now watch. That's at 31, right? There's me turning the volume. 31, look, 30 volts. Now watch this shit. 32. Wow. We went up 5 volts, guys, almost 5 volts. That's a shit ton. And guess what that did? That made that square wave pop up, remember? Now let's go. Now watch. I'm showing you everything. There's 34. Look, we went up 8 volts. So don't tell me, man, my amp plays 50 volts. It's strong. No, it's fucking dirty. You've got to check it with an O-scope and then check your voltages. Let me back this up. This is, now I'm going to turn the radio wide open. That's wide open right there. 35. Right there. Playing a test tone. Right there. 40 hertz. Test tone. 38. But that is dirty. Back it down to 31. That's clean. So this amp clean, wide ass open, the most you can play without burning your shit up is 30.3 volts, that amp. All right. You remember I told you the other day, I said, this amp's not set up. Nothing is set up here, right? And I told you I had to put 20s in it because it blew to 15s. All that shit's done on purpose, so I want to see if you can learn for yourself. What does this say right there? This is supposed to have 15 amp fuses. Let me get down there where you can see it. Hopefully you can see it. 15 amps. That's 30 amps, guys. Them fuses should hold that power. The reason these had to be changed is because I said nothing was set up. See, there's your 30 volts. When you hear that beep, 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 that's because I'm losing my sine wave. I'm going to put the sine wave back on. All right, that's it, back on, 30. We're at 31. There's 32. Look how the jump. One click, it went up 5 volts. You cannot do that. That's going to blow your fuses. You just put 5 more volts on this right here. You're going to overload the amplifier. It's not going to work. It's going to pop. I've done this shit for 35 years, y'all. Almost 36. I do this for a living. All right, so if we go up to 35, look at that voltage. 38.6. You know why them fuses ain't blowing? Does anybody know why? It's only seeing 38 and there's 40 amps of fusing in there. All right, so let's back this back down to where normal people play. So let's get down there to 31. That was clean. Let me play the sine wave. You see, there's the same numbers. Now we're going to go back to the O-scope where I can read it with the O-scope. See how it's clean? All right, I'm going to show you the difference. There's 30. We're on 30 right there, or 31, just like it's clean. I'm going to go up one notch at a time. I'm going to count 32, 33. Remember, we're doubling voltage. We're going up 4 volts each time. 34, 35. That's 38 volts dirty. So if you just hook your meter up and go, man, I got 38 volts out of my amp. Yeah, you got 38 volts of shit. Back it down to where it's clean. Right there's 31. Clean as pie. Or not pie. Clean as shaved hair pie. Right there is at 31. And it's 30 volts. Look at there. 31. 30.2. That is perfect. I'm not going to show you how to do crossovers, and I'm not going to show you anything about none of that stuff because I told you my little boy is going to dominate for what he's got. There is nobody going to beat his shit for what he's got in it. Nobody. I don't give a damn if you've done it for 30 fucking years. Will make you look like a retard in front of everybody. You best hope I don't build me one. That's all I'm going to say. You best hope that I don't do it because nobody's going to show up. They're going to say, that motherfucker comes down there, you might as well go home. Nobody's going to come look at your shit. But I'm building one for a little kid, right? He's a kid. He's going to be a big old boy, but he's a kid. So everybody respect that. He's going to be a kid. But for a kid's car, I don't see anybody touching it. I really don't. Because I know what I'm doing. And Jerry and Duck knows what they're doing on the enclosure, especially a 6-order. I promise you, it's going to be fucking nasty. All right, so I'm going to hook the speaker stuff back up, and I'll play it and let you hear what it sounds like. It's going to be killer with some cheap shit. All of this combined this is less than 300. I don't even have the power supply in here yet because I had to send it back. But I'll readjust everything when I get the voltage up. It's only 12 volts. That's it. This might go a little bit more, but not much. It won't change. It'll be a little bit cleaner, but it's not going to be a whole lot. Give me just a second. I'm going to hook this back up. I just want people to learn this. Because I hate seeing kids go out there and spend money on equipment over and over and over and over and over because somebody told them the wrong thing to do. I'm like, dude, who told you how to do that? And they're like, so-and-so stereo. I'm like, oh, God, another one of them. I used to take my car to a dude one time. He used to do copy machines or some shit, like repair copy machines, and all of a sudden he turns into a dyno expert. And I had to buy I bought one Shelby and let him tune it, and it was so fucked up that I went and bought another Shelby just to prove a point. Yeah, I'm good at proving stuff. And when I proved that he was a dumbass by buying another car, I said, dude, I'm not even going to say his name. I said, dude, I will never bring you shit. You're an idiot again. And I told my buddies, and they finally figured out, they was like, man, you right, that motherfucker's dumb as shit. And we thought he knew something. I said, no, he don't know nothing. He's been bullshitting this whole time. The whole time. All right, let me get these high levels hooked back up. Just take a second. And then I'll play a song and let you hear it. And then you're going to see these little mid-bass speakers jamming like they're supposed to. There is no internal crossover. It's just the external crossovers. Everything is flat. The amp, I'm not telling you what I said it on. I'm not telling you anything. Because people take advantage of me all the time. I'm not getting took advantage of anymore. I'll help and help and help. But there's some things I don't even tell my parents. Like I got another phone. Don't nobody even know nothing about. Nobody. My son. But I don't tell nobody that I got another phone. Because when I turn that motherfucker off, I don't want nobody bothering me. And I don't get spammed. People trying to sell me furniture and shit. And buy my land and everything. You know what I'm talking about? I don't get that stuff. I do on that one phone. Because it's, believe me, I know how it all works. Alright, everything's hooked up. The high levels are hooked up. Nothing's changed here. I've not played with anything. I'm gonna play a song and let you hear it. It's gonna be loud, sound good. I'm trying to speed this up, but it's hard by myself. I just want you to know how to do it properly. Let me get a song here. And this will be not necessarily well, it is a bass song. It's not a rebass. I don't like rebass stuff much. Just depends. I always check to see how clean it is. Most time it ain't even clean. Let's see here. I'm gonna get this where it was at a minute ago. I'm gonna play. Come on. I'm almost there, y'all. Here we go. I don't want to get that copyright. All right, now you're going to watch the volume right here. That's wide open. That's clean as it's gonna get. I hope this helped out. If you guys think I'm a dum-dum, say it, I don't care. It's not gonna hurt my feelings. But this is the proper way. I'll let you hear it one more time. This will show you this is at 31. This will last forever. You see, guys, I know what's going on. Anyway, you take care. If I like you good enough, I might share my secrets, but I probably won't. You have a good day.